Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of SecurityGuideTV.com. This is episode 3072. Ms. Joelle, remember when we first started? I think we were in the hundreds when I met you. Now we're at show 3000. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Chuck. It's great having you.
We're going to talk to Joelle Grunblatt. He's the Chief Marketing Officer and a co-founder of Ai-RGUS. That's AI-RGUS.com. Make sure you guys remember that. And we're going to talk about a couple new members, Mr. Erez Sharoni. He's the VP of Sales. And Mr. Eric Jackel, he's a senior account executive. Back to you guys in a second. Joelle, what's going on with Ai-RGUS? I'm excited to talk to you. I haven't seen you guys for a while.
Yes, thank you for having us on the show, Chuck. Always great talking to you. Just a quick recap of what Ai-RGUS does with the changes and all the updates. Ai-RGUS is an artificial intelligence, 100% software solution that makes security camera system maintenance easy. Initially, it was developed to manage Duke University's 2,000 cameras system and now deployed in all 50 states, in Canada, and abroad. It automatically alerts of any problems, including cameras down, unclear views, such as block, blur, tilt, low light glare, and cybersecurity vulnerabilities, and it automatically alerts the security team otherwise. When you buy a security camera system, you expect it to work when you need it and to have the evidence after any incidents. Ai-RGUS enables you to be proactive about maintenance and to be profitable offering this as a service. I want to highlight that Ai-RGUS is serving the security industry, and therefore we want to highlight that the Ai-RGUS software is totally made in the USA. Ai-RGUS successfully passed its SOC 2 Type 2 audit and is aligned with HIPAA privacy guidelines as well.
Now, what about the name Ai-RGUS? I'm always intrigued by this. And the good doctor, one of the co-founders there, this was a project at the university. The university came to me when he was a student and said, hey, I got a problem maintaining my cameras. And he came up with this idea. Now, I used to work at Fox and Disney. We had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cameras, if you can imagine. And guess what we had to do, Joelle? Go around, turn one on, check it. We had to do that all day long. And we still miss cameras. Is Ai-RGUS, I want to get back to the name in a second, but are you guys still the leader in this space? It's kind of a very unique product, isn't it?
Definitely, yes. Our sole focus is on the security camera system, AI, health check, reporting, and being aligned with all the entire camera system to make sure that it all works, and reporting otherwise.
And tell me about the name Ai-RGUS, AI-RGUS.com.
Yeah, so we named the company after Argus, the watchful giant with 100 eyes from the Greek mythology. Argus, with so many eyes, would sleep only a few of the eyes at a time and was therefore a very effective watchman. So too, our software is always and carefully monitoring each of your cameras for any view problems, so you can depend on them always being ready and recording useful footage. The I is to indicate that our Ai-RGUS uses artificial intelligence to do its job. We pronounce Ai-RGUS as Ai-RGUS and keep the I silent.
Now, got some exciting news. We're going to talk about some new members of the team. Let's introduce our first guest here. That's Mr. Erez Sharoni. He's the VP of Sales for AI-RGUS.com. Mr. Erez, welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Now, tell me a little bit about your background and especially in the physical security space.
So I started more than 30 years ago in the airline security. Then I used to be a director of security for a large university in the UK. Then I used to work as a security consultant, couple of manufacturers in the US, couple of system integrators, and now I'm at Ai-RGUS.
Tell me about your first, let's say your first couple of months there. How did you find this product? Because to me, it's kind of amazing because you worked with cameras and I worked with cameras. And to me, this is a total solution.
So I actually met Daniel and Joelle 5 years ago at a Unclear show. And since then, we kept in touch throughout the years. I believe that this technology, the AI technology, is crucial and critical for the industry. I remember when I was a director of security at the university, we used to do this stuff manually. Now when you have a system that does it automatically and alerts, as Joelle mentioned, it's actually very important to provide this kind of safe and secure environment to the end user as well as the system integrator.
Now, why did you join Ai-RGUS? You were, you had a good job there and you saw how their product worked and you decided to join the team. Tell us about that.
So as I mentioned before, I like the technology, I like the team. So the innovation that they bring to the market, which is unique, nobody has this capabilities. Some people, may have some of it, but we have a technology that nobody else has got. And again, as I mentioned, this actually helps to save lives. If the camera system is on, or you keep the downtime to a minimum, you will make sure that the system is there when you need it.
Well, it absolutely does save lives. And we're going to talk to Erez Jackel. He's the Senior Account Executive for Ai-RGUS. Welcome, Eric. Good to meet you, my friend.
Good to meet you, Chuck. Thanks for having me.
How did you first learn about Ai-RGUS?
So for 18 years, I ran the Security Operations Center, serving all of North America for Prosegur. We were located just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. I was introduced to Joelle and Daniel at GSX back in 2022 through a mutual contact in the industry. Couple weeks after that, we started to talk. We had the demo presentation from Joelle. We got to really see what the software could do. We implemented a proof of concept. I think the set time was 14 days, but I think it took us about 14 hours to decide that it was going to be a really useful tool for us at the operations center. We were conducting manual health checks, determined that it was using about 40 hours of manual labor per day. And it was an imperfect process because there was a lot of human interaction and human error, involved there, or the potential for human error. So it immediately was a product or service that we were drawn to and wanted to give it a try.
Now, I'm going to ask you the question. I'm going to go back and ask Erez the same thing. This does save lives, and I know how it would if I was working at Fox and Disney or Disney Studios or the theme park. Tell us how you think it does save lives, because there's a lot of different answers to this, and people need to be aware of this is what's really, to me, the most significant part of the product.
Sure. So camera functionality, so security camera functionality is critical, not just for the live monitoring purposes, but also to be able to go back, retrieve video, make sure that analytic alerts that are running on these cameras, whether it's DVR based or whether it's camera based, are functioning properly. There are many, many different things that can go wrong with these systems. We're a long ways away from the old analog days. So Argus is a great insurance policy to make sure that the expensive, usually, camera system that you've invested in is working exactly the way that it's supposed to work, that you have all of the information and data that you need all of the time.
Now, Erez, same question for you. Having worked in your environments with your cameras, how do you think that saves lives?
So you have seen varieties of incidents occurring all over the country, or maybe all over the world, where you have active shooters or suspicious packages and stuff like this, that part of the operating procedures and the equipment that the customer end user relies on is an effective CCTV camera system. So be able to provide either a live images or recorded images at a split of a second is critical for law enforcement and other agencies to be able to support and solve any kind of issues that they may face.
Now, Joelle, back in the day when I worked at the studios, and I worked at UCLA, by the way, we had a lot of cameras there, although the police department wasn't directly responsible for them. A horrific story came out. It was the University of San Francisco, I believe, the hospital system. A woman, a patient, got out of her bed, went to the stairwell. I think she was smoking or something, got locked in the stairwell. Unfortunately, she died in the stairwell. Why'd she die in the stairwell? Because the camera wasn't working, and the guards didn't know she was in the stairwell, and the guards didn't physically check the stairwell. It's a pretty famous case. And had that camera been up and running, somebody could have said, hey, look, there's a woman. She's stuck in there. It was a fire corridor, right? So she couldn't go back in. So this is super important stuff. And I really want to emphasize, having used cameras myself back in the day where I used to say, cameras, I know the guy stole my laptop. I don't need a picture of it. That's not what cameras are anymore. Cameras are your first alert. Cameras are your alarm. Cameras are your door contact. Cameras are first responder directions. It's a different world with AI stuff in the cameras now. Tell me about how AI is utilized here, because that when we first talked about this product, AI was a new thing. Now everybody's got AI, right? But for you, you've been using this for a while.
Yes, so the AI is there to make sure that the image quality and the image clarity is there for each one of the cameras. So at onset, Argus takes a reference image for each one of the cameras. And then every day or every hour or multiple times a day, depending on the needs of the end user, the software will take another image and compare it to the reference image. And that's how the AI is checking the entire scene and defining, is this an issue or not? And that's how it detects blur, block, tilt, glare, low light, anything wrong with the camera view for that camera.
Well, it's a brilliant concept. And Erez, follow me on this. If we're watching Mission Impossible episode and you have those snapshots of the cameras, right? You remember the old days where they used to put in a fake camera or a still shot and they could pull the camera? People might still try to do that digitally now, but I'm assuming your AI can even render those sort of things kind of not plausible anymore, because it's going to know if that's the image it took.
Correct. That's, as Joelle mentioned, it's a great tool to be able to compare and to be able to use the technology to see whether the camera is healthy, or maybe somebody moved the camera, or maybe somebody blocked the camera, or the camera is malfunctioning. The other good thing, as Joelle mentioned before, is the capability also to show the system integrator and the end user that maybe a camera is malfunctioning so many times that it's a time to upgrade the camera or replace it and not keep coming back and try to fix it. So it's actually double benefit here. Number one, making sure it's working and keep to a downtime, but at the same time produce reports to show if there is a persistent issue, maybe it's time to do an upgrade or to replace the camera, or maybe do an overhaul.
Now, Eric, is this a tough sell? And the reason I say this is this. Most people don't get technology, right? Now, the guy that's writing your checks for the products, and this isn't unique to Argus, it happens to everybody, they kind of go blink, blink when you start saying AI and cameras and digital and, so on. Mm-hmm. Are people getting this now? Are they kind of more on board about how these things work and why they're so important?
Sure. A big part of the reason why I was excited to join the team at Argus was because of my experience previously as an end user. I thought that brought a kind of unique perspective to the whole process. I can speak not just from from marketing collateral, but I can speak from my own personal experience. As an operations leader, how Argus provided me not only with a more cost-effective solution, but a better one overall. So, I think once we get to the point where people start to see what it actually does, and especially when we get to the proof of concept stage, I can't tell you how many times I would take on a new client at the monitoring center. We'd connect into their cameras for the first time, and 12 out of the 20 cameras weren't working and nobody knew about it. So it avoids those problems. It provides you with the added level of assurance, again, that the usually expensive camera system that you've invested in is working the way it should work, not just some of the time, but all the time.
Well, I love it. I think it's fantastic. We've been speaking with Erez Jackel. He's a senior account executive. And Mr. Erez Sharoni, he's a VP of sales, ai-argus.com. And of course, one of my favorite people in the room, Mr. Joelle Grunblatt. She's the Chief Marketing Officer and co-founder. So good luck to you guys. You're going to be at any of the trade shows this year where we could pick up and see a demo?
Yes, sure. We will be at GSX. We recently joined PSA, so we will be at the PSA convention. We will be at IC East, IC West. Come and see us.
All right, good luck to you. And again, one of my favorite products. I've been with these guys from the beginning. I got to tell you, it's the real deal, right? And it's unique. So you guys take a look. Joelle, always nice to see you. And next time I'm in Vegas, I'll stop by and say hi.
Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you so much, Chuck. It's always great to be on your show. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.